It was a sunny Boulder Friday when a humble McGuckin Hardware and Sporting Goods first opened its doors on September 9, 1955. Through countless sweltering summers, blizzards, a couple floods, and a pandemic, we're still proud to serve our Boulder community with the same old-school approach to customer service. And while it's not the 65-year celebration we had imagined due to COVID-19, we still wanted to pay tribute to the store's legacy, so we asked our green vests to share some memories of their time working here. Here's what they had to say. What does McGuckin Hardware mean to you?
McGuckin Hardware means familiarity and friends. I remember about 3.5 years ago when I first moved to Boulder from Florida. I grew up where there were only big box stores and you didn't really have the opportunity to find people who knew what they were talking about. It was a lot of DIY, a lot of learning the hard way. And when I first came out here, I remember coming into the hardware store, McGuckin Hardware, and just being floored by the amount of people that are available for help, the knowledge base. And I took a step back and I looked at how happy everybody was working here and the camaraderie that exists in the store. And I actually wound up getting a job here, and I've been here for about 3 years now, and I love every minute of it. It's a fun opportunity to work with the community, to help educate your neighbors, and I learn something new every day, and it's great practical knowledge that I'll be able to take forward with me in my life and to help people further down the road. So I'm really happy to have that opportunity and to be able to work with such a cool family.
What does McGuckin Hardware mean to you?
McGuckin's means family to me. Without my job here, I would have not known people to help me out in some crazy situations I've gotten into. The other night, me and my friends decided to install a bidet in my toilet, knowing nothing about plumbing. Super smart. I broke my toilet, freaked out, but then I remembered I have so many friends who know what to do in this situation, and I was so grateful. I called my friend Josh, came over, and he fixed my toilet. So it was very wonderful, and I really don't think I would have gotten this amazing set of friends and family that I have without working here.
What does McGuckin Hardware mean to you?
McGuckin, I've been here a long time. McGuckin's is like a second home. Through all the years, probably the most consistent thing about this is that we've always seemed to have really good people working here. So McGuckin means second home. In all the years that I've worked here, is probably one of my favorite stories to tell is when I first moved from receiving into the buying position in the electrical department. I had a customer come in, his daughter and an older gentleman, and they were reworking his house so that he could stay in. He was like 97 years old at the time. And so they had been pulling out the carpet and they were doing all sorts of fix up around the house so he could be self-sufficient in his house. He needed to have light, so when he got up out of bed in the middle of the night and whatnot, he could get up and see where he was going, but not so much light that it blinded him. So working with his carpenter and his electrician, we worked out a rope light trail for him to follow through his house. Different colors in different parts of the house, so he knew where he was because of the color. So we got it all set up for him, and it was working well. They were all on motion sensors, so when he stood up at night, the light would come on, and when he laid down, after a few minutes, they would go off. Well, we got it all set up, and he gives me a call and tells me, well, it's all working great except for his dog. His dog running around the house at night would turn them on. Well, as we all know here, Dave and Dee are absolute animal lovers. They love their pets, and so did this guy. So after checking with a couple places and whatnot, I found out that I could go fix the problem real easy. So I went by his house on the way home, flipped all the switches upside down because the way that switch would work is it was angled down and out flat. So now we took it and put it upside down where it was out flat and angled up. And his dog could run around underneath the lights all night long, so not setting them off. Because of this place and because of the people I worked with, I was able to do that, and it's my favorite story to tell.
I'm such a happy customer that I would just be delighted to show off my McGuckin sweatshirt, and that's actually, you can see, signed by Dave Hyde. And it's absolutely a favorite place of mine to bring guests that come in from out of town. I mean, where else in town are you going to find Acme thread, all thread rods? It's just nowhere else. I don't know anybody that is more dedicated to his store, to the community, to the employees than Dave is. So there is not only the club of a family-style group of employees, the family is such a strong element here, and I remember that as well.
What does McGuckin Hardware mean to you?
Well, McGuckin Hardware has helped me out a lot. That day I got hired, I went directly across the street to the Bank of America home loan place and applied for a home loan. By October, I had a house here in Broomfield, and I owe it to McGuckin Hardware. And I've been here for over 11 years. I've made some great friends. I've always wanted to thank Dave and Dee for giving me the opportunity to be able to afford a house or buy a house in Colorado. I've been in bands with people that I work with, been on the softball team, won 3-4 championships with those guys, so it's been a big part of my life. You know, I don't have any family in Colorado outside of my wife, so this store is kind of like my family since I've been here.
I'm the Human Resources Manager, and I've been at McGuckin Hardware for just over a year, and I love working here. And I think the work environment is something really special. Why is it special? Because the employees love working here. Many employees feel like they're part of a family, and because they know the company cares about them, and in turn they care, and they go above and beyond. And the company feels like we're all a part of the same team with the same goals, and I think that's so special. And also, the customers love the store, and that makes us feel good. I mean, the customers get excited, and they just love McGuckin Hardware. And what's not to love? It's a great store, it's a Boulder icon, and I truly appreciate working here, and I'm gonna do everything I can to maintain that vision and keep this work environment for as long as I can, and I plan to be here a long time.